Welcome to Direct Sales Training with Rich Norton. I'm your host, yours truly. Great to be here, excited to be here with you. Very thankful to all of you for reaching out to me and sending me emails and sending out some text to me. And I'm glad this is helping you because that's where my heart is at. My goal is to teach people how to have success in any type of selling and in direct selling as well. I've had someone reach out to me that said, hey, I'm not in sales, but the things that you're teaching actually help in everyday communication and everyday living. And I said, you're absolutely right, because it's all about communicating, selling yourself, looking for the best in others, putting other people in front of you, being selfless instead of selfish. So all these things that we're teaching are very helpful just in life in general. So thanks for the feedback. I really do appreciate that. I appreciate the encouragement, and I'm very grateful. So keep sending them. It puts a big smile on my face. That's my heart. My heart and my passion is to help people achieve great success. As Zig Ziglar once said, the late great Zig Ziglar said, you can have anything you want in life if you help other people get what they want in life. And that comes natural for me. So thank you for all your love and encouragement. I truly do appreciate that. So God bless all of you. So today's show, we're going to cover a topic that's very important. It's called handling objections, because not every presentation goes smooth all the way through, where you present it and it's like yes all the way through. We love those. Those are great. We also call those lay down prospects. They're real easy, or anybody could have wrote this one up. We run into that, and that comes naturally when you're working. If you're out there making calls, you're going to find prospects that just want what you have. This is great. They love what you have, and you're going to write them up very easy. But sales is eliminating objections before they come. Eliminating the objections before they happen. That's all part of the sales process. So that's what you want to do when you're meeting merchants. You want to get to know them. You want to develop a conversation with them, but you want to be in control of that conversation. Now, what I mean by that, okay, when I'm talking about that, I'm talking about asking questions. The person that is asking the questions is the one that's in control. Remember that. So when you're talking to a merchant, and it's important, or whatever you're selling, what a business owner, homeowner, whoever it might be, get to know your prospect and develop a rapport by simply asking questions. Now, it doesn't always have to pertain just to what you're selling. For example, Joe, how long have you been in business? Get them talking about themselves. Very important. Wow, is this a family business? But sounds like you grew up in the business. If you're in a home selling something, how long have you guys lived here? What a beautiful home. Do you do the decorating? Wow, have you been in business for decorating? People love to be recognized as well. If you see plaques on the wall, trophies, a deer head, whatever it might be, people like to brag about themselves. You see a nice car, an old car that they have. What year is that car? That's awesome. Where did you get that? Did you build that yourself? Did you build that motor? So these are things that you're doing as you're meeting your prospect. You're asking questions to get to know your prospects, but you're in control. Now, here's another way you can handle this also. When you're talking to a prospect, they're going to ask you questions. And this is all part of the objection part. We'll get into that a little bit. But when they ask you a question, here's what we want you to do. We want you to learn the art of welcoming the question, answer the question, and then come back with another question. This is a little role-playing program that you can do with some of the people that are in the business with you. Practice this. You'll have a lot of fun. People will start out, hey, where are you from? Well, I'm from Connecticut. Where are you from? I'm from such and such. I grew up in Texas, or whatever it might be. Great. What did you do when you were in Texas? So you see what we're doing right here? We're asking questions, developing a rapport, and the ones that are asking the questions are the ones that are in control. So remember that. So let's talk about that. Objections. What is objections? I have to think about it, or I don't know if this is a good time right now, or I don't know if that will work for me, or any question. Well, how does this work? How's this going to work for our business? Or how's this going to work for our home? How does that part work, or how does that relate to us? Now, a lot of salespeople, unfortunately, when they get a question or they get an objection, they end up getting a little flustered, or they end up almost arguing with a prospect, or they almost argue with them under their breath, and they lose the whole rapport that they've established with that particular merchant. So if a merchant brings up an objection, here's your response from here on in, and I want you to write this down. I'm glad you brought that up. So what am I doing right here? I am welcoming the objection. I'm so glad you brought that up. That's one way to handle it. Here's another one. What a great question. That's an excellent point. Welcome that objection and answer it positively. So whatever they bring up, I don't know if we can afford that right now. Man, I'm so glad you brought that up. And then we, oh, yeah, okay. Or, I don't know if that's going to work for us right now. Or, how does this work? Man, what a great question. I'm so glad you brought that up. You never want them to think, oh, what kind of question is that? You know, you don't want to do anything where you're offending people at all. So really important that you isolate that objection, welcome the objection. I'm glad you said that. Great point. That is awesome. That's amazing. I'm so glad you brought that up. So that's step one, welcome the objection. And then, what do you do from there? You give a testimony of other people that have been in that scenario. And I'll give you a prime example. A merchant may say to me, well, at this point, I don't know if that would be a good program for us, or how does that work? Man, I'm so glad you brought that up, because that's an excellent question. I had a business that was in the same scenario that you're just talking about right now, and this is how we handled it for them. This is what we did for them. Give the story, give the testimony. Once we did that for that business, they absolutely loved it, and they're with us today happier than they've ever been. So what did I do? I isolated the objection, I gave a testimony. So what do I do from here is the question. The question and the answer is, you come back with another question. So very simple. Man, I'm so glad that you brought that up. That's an excellent point. As a matter of fact, the last 3 businesses that I spoke with, they dealt with the same exact thing. Let's say, for example, they said, well, you know, we've been kind of ripped off by other companies, and we have a, you know, we don't have a good spot. You know, we don't feel good about it at all. And then most salespeople are going to say, well, I'm different from everybody else, which they will respond and say, that's what the last guy told me, or that's what the last person told me. So you have to welcome that objection. So if they say, you know, we had a bad experience before, and we're really skeptical right now, we don't know if we want to change or anything on that now. Man, I am so glad you brought that up. Thank you for bringing that up, because that's something that I deal with every day. As a matter of fact, I'm going to say probably the last 3 businesses that I helped out, they had the same scenario. They dealt with the same company. I'm not even going to mention the name, but it's probably the same one that you are talking about, or the same couple that you've been talking about. And bad situation. You know, they were promised a lot, and the people didn't follow through with the promises, and you know, they were just not happy with it. Does that sound familiar? Oh yeah, it does. Now I'm with the business, I'm isolating the objection, and now I'm going to give a testimony. Here's what we did for them, and this is what they loved about us. They loved the fact that we have integrity. They also love the fact that they're dealing with a direct processor that's A+ rated with the Better Business Bureau, and they love the fact that we did everything we told them that we were going to do. We put it in writing, we followed through with it, and since then, because they're so happy and so satisfied and content, they have actually referred us to 3 other businesses that were going through the same junk that they went through before, and we were able to help them as well. So these are the things that will handle that. So when you're getting that objection, you want to welcome it, and then what you want to do is you're going to give a testimony, and once you've given that testimony, the next thing that you're going to do is you're going to come back with another question. That's how you handle the objections. Now, this probably is going to be where we need to do a couple shows on this, because I don't want to just rush through this part. I want to get through it where we talk about different scenarios, as I talked about before. I have to think about it. Now's not a good time. So I want to cover some specific objections, and if you'd like, I'd like for you to email me or text me on some that you might be getting. You'll see the number, you'll see the email right on the screen. Some objections that you've been getting, that you've been struggling with, and you don't know how to handle. I'm more than happy to help you with that. But just keep in mind, just a summary, ask the questions. That's the person that's in control. Welcome the objection. I'm glad you said that. Give a testimony. Come back with another question so you remain in control. I hope that helps you. You can watch this over and over again. My goal is to help you get into the next level. That's what we're here for. So we'll see you on the next show. Hey, it's Rich Norton with the super crew of Payrock. Thank you for tuning in to my show. I hope all the things that we're teaching you are very, very helpful. Whatever field of selling that you're in, go out and make it happen. I've had many, many people reach out to me as we've been filming these shows, and also through all the other videos and all the different events that we've been doing, inquiring about what we do. And they're saying, man, you've got a lot of successful people all around the country. You're talking about residual income, you're talking about traveling, you're talking about having an abundant life and making it happen. I want to do that type of direct sales. Do you have opportunities with your company? The answer to that question is yes, we do. We certainly do. Our division is called the Super Crew of Payrock. We're the fastest growing processor in the whole country. Our group is the #1 group of Payrock, and I have a passion, as you have seen, to motivate, train, and help people to reach their full potential. We have representatives all around the country that are earning crazy amounts of income, residual income. This business is as big as you want it to be. Somebody told me years ago, if you want to build wealth, get into a business where you're earning residual income. So if you're that type of person and you want to find out more, we have opportunities available. To see if you qualify, reach out to me. You can call me on my phone number. My phone number is 904-434-4635. You can email me at payrockrichnnorton@gmail.com. You'll see it right on the screen here, and perhaps you could qualify for this wonderful opportunity.